All right, gang, we are back on the Frazer Smith Show, presented by the Accident Attorneys at sweetjames.com. If you've been hurt in an accident, call 1-800-9-MILLION. Did you know that, Mel? That's what you do.
I think I've heard it somewhere.
Yeah, every 10 minutes on this show. All right, joining us right now, he is the hottest comic out there today, the hottest young comedian. He's very, he's very he's a humble guy. He does, he draws in his own mustache. He is really a talented guy. Trevor Wallace, what's up?
Yeah, buddy.
Rage, how are we, man?
I'm good, buddy. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah.
Before we get this kicked off, can I see one?
Yeah, come on.
There you go.
There it is.
There it is, buddy. That's the hook.
There it
These
is.
are the jokes.
Come on, man. Jokes.
These are the jokes. This is Rage. You're revolutionary. You're a legend.
Well, that was actually just a nervous tick, but it's worked out.
So
it's
rough when he
like
drives.
kicks?
Yeah. I know a lot of comics do, though. My hook snap on the road. I have a feeling. I don't know.
Oh, it's great.
Well, thank you,
I
buddy.
do it as a tick as well. I'm just looking, I go.
Yeah. It's a good tick. Big fan of yours, and a lot of people are. Your stand-up is awesome, but you also
Fraze.
have the ability to get crowds out, and you're really you do a lot of clips on the internet. Is that how it got started?
Yeah, I started doing stand-up when I was 17. So, God, what am I? 32. Shit.
You didn't know there was going to
Is
be
that half my
involved.
life? I know. I think that's half my life.
Wow.
I started when I was
It is
17, and then I went to film school, and I was doing stand-up in college. And during film school, they were teaching me how to use these big-ass cameras, and I really hated it, and it was too slow and too traditional. And then that's when Vine was out. So I started making videos on Vine, and then I was doing Vine and open mics, and then I moved to LA and continued Vine and open mics. Vine died. Then I only did open mics for like 2 to 3 years, and then that's when I started going to like Facebook and YouTube for videos. But that's always been my bread and butter, is spend half my day doing videos and the other half doing stand-up. So it's like two different parts of my brain. So
Well, it's really they feed each other. They feed each other, though, right? Yeah,
absolutely. And sometimes one idea is clearly a video, the other one is clearly stand-up. If it's like more observational and I want to show it some more, then I'll go more video. But if it's more like a funny story that happened to me, then I can like kind of walk people through and take some time. Then I'll go stand up, because stand up people will sit. They'll sit in the tension and the pressure. But video, you got to be. There's no room for air. You got
that's got to be
going.
quick.
Short attention
Yeah. Now,
spans.
do you get? Do you run out? I mean, is there a lot of pressure to keep posting? Like every day, you got to post something.
Oh yeah. I'm in pain, Frazer. Every day I wake up and I go, what the hell am I posting today? But luckily, I've been doing this for like 7 or 8 years of videos, and I've just made a whole list throughout the years of just every video idea, and usually I just make whatever's the most exciting that week or whatever. But sometimes I'll scroll through and be like, oh, this one was great. Why didn't I make that? So it varies. But then the stand-up, I don't even realize that stand-up is filming in its own, because I'm just doing the show. But after the show, if there's a fun moment, I usually film every show with cameras and everything. So if there's a great show and there's a funny moment, like in San Diego, a lady let me hold her baby on stage. I was the new Pope. It was awesome. So for moments like that, I'm like, then I'm excited. I'm like, let's get this shit out ASAP.
Yeah.
Can I cuss on here? Sorry, it's radio.
Well, no, that's all right. Well,
That's what bleeping is for.
we will beep that.
Bleep it out. All right. Fuck.
Quick question.
Come on.
Do any of your videos ever make it to your stand-up?
Yeah, I've definitely done some of that, but sometimes, it's like burning a bit. If I make a video and it's online, then I go, well, I wouldn't want to do this in stand-up, because then people might think I might be lazy if I'm like regurgitating the same type of stuff. But there'll be references in it, and it's like if you come out from watching videos, you'll see references in the stand-up, and then if you watch my stand-up, you'll see references like kind of like in the video type. Like what Frazer said earlier, there's a lot of cross-pollination where it's all under the same umbrella of comedy.
Well, when you go on the road now, you've got fans, and that's that's a good thing for any comic, obviously. Do you play what size places do you play? Do you play big rooms or medium size?
This tour I'm currently on right now, it's anywhere from 1,000 seats to the biggest is like 3,000, 3,300. So pretty damn big for me at least. But you know, you got your Tom Segura's out there doing arenas, but I'm doing some really fun theater, some really cool historic places, which has really been the most incredible.
That's great. And then the fans come out to see the videos, and then they want to see your stand-up.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And vice versa, you know. I hope people leave the show with a feeling of like, oh, I didn't know what his stand-up was going to be like, or hey, we just saw Trevor last time, his stand-up's getting better, or he's improved, or you know, or somebody just comes out as a friend of a friend saying, hey, I didn't know who you were, but you know, my coworker loves you. Now you got a new fan. That's always the best. It's, you know, I perform every night like nobody knows who I am, and I'm trying to win them over. I don't want to ever be too comfortable.
You know what? You're great at both. You know, you went to film school, and then you found that the short form stuff on the internet was more to your liking, and that's really worked for you. Do you have do you want to do more movie stuff, actual long form stuff at some point? Would you like to direct a movie?
Absolutely. And I've been fortunate enough to have some fun roles in my friends' movies that have come out and whatnot. And, you know, I have ideas for shows and movies. It's the thing why I tend to go to social media so much is the streamline is so much quicker. I could have an idea today, film it, edit it, get it up tonight. But anytime I've ever brought an idea to, you know, kind of like, I feel like there might be a lot of roadblocks sometimes. And sometimes it's just because I don't know what I'm doing. But, you know, I pitch my manager an idea. They're like, this is great. We'll set you up with meetings. And you go in these meetings and they're like, yeah, this is great. Let me know the next steps. And I'm like, I'm letting you know right now. And they're like, yeah, let me know. And it's like
the next step.
It's you're like shaking each other's hands. Like, this is great. This is good stuff. And I'm like, right, now what? I don't know. I'm just newer to the traditional side. So anytime I get caught up in that, I go, whatever. Let me just go shoot something today and post it. But yeah, I mean, like everybody in this town, I've been in development with a TV show for about 2 years now. And I honestly think it's better to be in development longer because then you can keep telling women on dates you're in a TV show development.
Yeah, it's always
deal.
a good thing to drop, right? Yeah,
yeah,
I got something.
Of course.
Instead of the name drop.
I almost don't even want to make it because if it comes out and it sucks,
then you
then
lose
she thinks I lose my charm.
You spend 2 years doing
it always sounds good like when you have something going on in this town.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you really don't.
Yeah. But yeah, and I mean the goal by the end of the year is kind of just shoot something I'm really proud of that would be like a pilot episode and post it and just see what happens. And I feel like with anything, you know, if you post something and it gets views, you can show that to a higher up and be like, look, people resonated with this, they like it. It makes sense. It's, you know, it's the same reason you go to a Chili's, you want to see a photo of what you're ordering. I totally get it. I mean, I wouldn't buy a pilot off somebody pitching it. I'd want to see it first. I think that's just the world we're in. So,
well, and it's numbers
honestly,
too,
like,
isn't it? I mean, they love seeing those numbers.
Exactly. If you give them concept and numbers, it's a lot harder to turn it down. And you can also create it more towards your perception with a clearer vision and be like, this is the show, these are the numbers. And I feel like that could really get people going.
I liked you in the Drugstore June movie.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Nick Goosen, Grandma's Boy director. Yeah. That was a cool one. You know, they hit me up to play a vape store employee. All I did was turn a hat sideways, and they're like, "You got the part. You nailed it." So,
how about
Go ahead.
How about a crazy road experience?
Crazy road experience.
Yeah, something wild happened to you out there?
Oh man, you know, I
like your Uber bit. That's a good.
Oh yeah, the Uber one. Yeah, that was true. That happened to me in Austin, Texas. I had a deaf Uber driver, which I was like, thank God. You know, it was nice. We didn't talk a lot, but yeah, there's a whole story on that. But crazy road experience. You know, it's a lot of just like, it's mainly the craziest stuff is like the hotels and the Airbnbs and like literally just the weird places you find yourself waking up in the middle of Duluth, Iowa. Is that where that is? Maybe. But some of the stuff you see on the road, you know, it's more so those,
Minnesota, Duluth.
You know, yeah. Okay, we're up
geography.
there.
Same, terrible.
Midwest.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's meth and geography.
Math.
But
meth and geography is easier than math and geography.
But a lot of it's just like you're driving through some of these small towns and you're just looking around. You go, what? Do you guys have internet here? What is going on? And it's a fun. It's like, this tour is just me and 3 other people, a videographer, a tour manager, and another comedian. So we're hopping in a Toyota Sienna. It's not very glamorous, but we're road tripping. It's pretty fun like that. But
yeah,
I don't know.
And
if
you
I have
shoot everything
crazy...
when you're on your trip. You shoot all the behind the scenes and all the.
Very cool.
Oh yeah, cameras are always on. It's like a reality TV show. You always got to be on your A game. Because if a camera's on, I'm on. But if a camera's off, I'm like, I'm tired. I don't really care. But for me, I
you
get
like
in
to
it.
keep them all moving. That's like what the snap's all about, my friend.
Yeah.
All right, can I do a word association with you quickly?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, Gen Z.
Dangly earrings.
Okay, gummies.
Weed.
Okay, MySpace.
Old. Top 8. Tom.
Jokes.
These are the jokes.
The jokes,
Where I
folks.
went.
Dean Cook.
LimeWire. That's where I downloaded all this stuff back in the day.
Were you a fan?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Uber.
Deaf.
Okay. All right, that's it. We wish you the very best, man. Thanks for joining us today. You're a real talented guy, and continued success for you. I hope you get to do some movie stuff. I think with all the stuff you've learned,
I feel it coming. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I could see that for you.
Natural.
All right, man. Well, we'll see you over at the club. At the club.
See you over there, Frazer.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes.
Let's have a snap on the way
Take care.
out. 1, 2, 3. There he is.
Jokes.
Trevor Wallace. Jokes, everybody. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for joining us, man.
Frazer.
All right, there
Absolutely.
he is. Trevor Wallace, the
Anytime.
hottest comic out there, man. There he is. Represent.
Sexy.
Come on. Frazer Smith Show, presented by the Accident Attorney, SweetJames.com. If you've been hurt in an accident, call 1-800-9-MILLION.